Imagine your organization 3 years from now. Every product decision and policy move quietly powered by a resilient AI-ready identity backbone. In this module, we'll turn that vision into a practical, executable roadmap you can actually deliver. Treat digital identity as a strategic asset, not just a login system. It powers 4 major outcomes. It enables new digital products, channels, and partnerships because you can reliably know who you're dealing with. It shapes customer experience and conversion by adding just enough friction at the right moments. It drives risk reduction and resilience by cutting fraud and AI-driven account takeovers. And it anchors compliance, embedding privacy and consent into everyday operations. When identity feels painful, we usually see only the symptoms. Users hate passwords, support queues explode, onboarding drags out. Underneath is identity debt. Technically, it shows up as fragmented IAM and CIAM tools, multiple directories, and brittle on-prem systems. Organizationally, nobody clearly owns identity, shadow IT grows, and security clashes with customer experience. On the regulatory side, you get reactive compliance, scattered logs, and weak zero-trust foundations. AI doesn't fix these problems. It amplifies every weak spot. To understand your current identity state, look through 3 lenses that must stay in balance. First, technical capabilities. Can your IAM stack handle modern, AI-shaped threats and experiences, or is it still a patchwork of legacy components? Second, organizational governance. Who truly owns identity decisions, and do they have the mandate and skills to act? Third, regulatory and risk posture. Are your practices aligned with zero-trust principles, evolving privacy laws, and real-world attack patterns? Today, most organizations are stuck with fragmented identity, separate directories, static passwords, and manual reviews that only spot problems after the fact. You're evolving toward a unified identity layer that everything connects to via APIs, with multi-factor authentication tuned for low friction and AI continuously scoring risk. Ownership evolves too, from IT alone to cross-functional teams, privacy by design practices, and open standards that accept trusted third-party credentials. You can picture your future identity architecture as 3 stacked layers. At the base are target capabilities: modern authentication, fine-grained authorization, automated lifecycle management, and identity proofing. That's your engine. Above that sits the operating model. Who owns IAM and CIAM, what SLAs exist, and which teams run analytics and AI-driven risk. Those are your drivers. On top, the integration layer connects you into identity federations and partner APIs, the network that turns your capabilities into ecosystem value. Your digital identity strategy should run between a clear set of guardrails. Start with user centricity. Design flows so people can succeed, understand what's happening, and recover when things go wrong. Next, prioritize interoperability and standards. Choose widely adopted protocols instead of proprietary lock-in. Then, build in security and privacy by design. Collect only what you need, protect it strongly, and make consent meaningful. Finally, stay adaptive and data-driven. Continuously tune policies using threat intelligence and real user feedback. This grid gives you a simple way to turn a long wish list into a realistic roadmap. High-value, low-complexity items are your no-regret moves, things like SSO, MFA, and directory cleanup that almost always deserve early investment. High-value but higher complexity items become strategic bets, such as AI-driven anomaly detection or verifiable credentials. Low-value basics are hygiene tasks you batch and automate, and anything both complex and low-value should be challenged hard or deferred. Now, translate that into timing by thinking in 3 waves. In the foundation year, clean up what you already have. Consolidate logins, reduce friction, and close obvious security gaps. Over years 1 to 3, shift focus to experience and CIM. Automate more, orchestrate user journeys, and prove business value. In years 3 to 5, open up. Plug into ecosystems, support external credentials, and layer in advanced AI. In every wave, pilot first, then scale what works. Phase 1 is about stabilizing the basics while earning quick credibility. Start by pulling identity data into a single, authoritative directory, so you stop arguing about which system is right. Then, deliver a consistent single sign, on experience for your most critical applications. Finally, lock down high-risk and privileged accounts with strong multi-factor authentication. Together, these moves sharply cut takeover risk and lay the groundwork for more advanced automation. In the second phase, identity starts to feel effortless. Risk engines decide when to add friction, so only truly suspicious activity triggers extra checks. Inside the organization, joiner, mover, lever workflows become hands-off and reliable. On the customer side, CIAM upgrades deliver smoother, consistent logins across every channel and begin to visibly support business outcomes. Phase 3 is where your identity program becomes ecosystem native. You connect to decentralized IDs and wallets, trust credentials issued elsewhere, and use AI to continuously spot abnormal behavior. Consent and data sharing controls become highly granular, so you can safely collaborate with partners while staying resilient against synthetic identities and deepfakes. An AI identity engine works as a continuous loop. First, it ingests raw signals: who the user claims to be, what device they're on, where they are, and how they usually behave. Next, a risk model scores that moment in context, comparing it to past patterns. Then the system reacts, maybe allow access, maybe ask for MFA, maybe block. Over all of this, humans review outcomes and bias, adjust thresholds, and refine the rules. Treat identity as a living capability, not a one-time project. You start by executing. Ship the controls, integrations, and policies you've planned. Then you monitor outcomes: authentication success, fraud incidents, latency, and user friction. Next comes governance and oversight. Test the results against regulation, internal policy, and AI bias concerns. Finally, renew the roadmap. Adjust priorities based on new threats, user feedback, and technology shifts. Then loop back into execution. To turn this course into action, move from ideas to ownership. First, name a single identity owner who can bridge security, IT, and customer experience. Then run a quick diagnostic across technology, organization, and regulation to surface your biggest gaps. From there, set a few clear principles. Choose 1 or 2 no-regret projects you can ship in 90 days, and commit to reviewing your identity roadmap every quarter.